Welcome
to the Bring Me to Life podcast.
It's time to wake up
and shine on. Hello. Welcome to another Bring Me to Life podcast. Thanks for waking up and shining on with us.
Hey, it's episode 197, part 4 of our Divine Abundance series.
Yeah, I'm excited. We've been doing really well this month too, kind of holding on to that abundance mindset, and heard some good feedback from those tuning in that they are tapping into their divine abundance as well. Earlier this week we had last week we had an abundance ceremony and we had a spring equinox ceremony on our Patreon, which that was just beautiful. If you haven't checked out our Patreon yet, highly suggest you do so, because we got some cool exclusive content over there.
Yeah, and thanks to everybody, who has been signing up for our Patreon. We've gotten, a nice group of people joining us, and it's really exciting because once we really get that rolling, those events on Zoom that we do are going to be really fun. Calling
into an abundance of community members, so that
the last ones that we did were really fun.
Yeah, so that we can have a good time in those Zoom events. It's like where we get together and you get to actually interact with us if you get on the upper tier of the Patreon. And I think talking about Patreon is a good thing to mention right now. It's not just a part of our intro, but it's about investing in yourself. And I think that that's an amazing topic, because feeling abundant is like having the ability to really, invest into yourself, invest into your community, invest into the people you love and you want to see succeed. And I do that by investing in other people's Patreons too. I try to, support other people, other creators, artists, musicians, and beyond by, just that little tiny contribution. And it goes a long way, and you usually get some really cool content and stuff back from it. So that's why I wanted to make this episode all about investing in yourself in a variety of ways.
Yeah, there's so many good ways. And one way that I've been investing into myself recently is I got my book going. We talked about it a few times, probably on the podcast, but it actually happened, and I got the ebook version available, and a few people have already read it. And I've gotten some good feedback so far, but soon I will have a physical copy. I'll have a little test. I just did my first order for a physical copy of the book to see what that's like.
Yeah, and that was an investment of time in yourself too. Not just investing money in yourself, but investing time and effort and the energy that you would typically invest into others. I used to be somebody who would only invest my energy into helping others' projects, and it's taken a lot of grounding and focus to really hone in and invest my time and energy into my projects just as much as I do everyone else's. So
that's important. Yeah, especially if you're like you, who just loves helping everybody.
I love helping people. I do. I try really hard, and I can't help everybody, and I've had to remind myself that, but I can invest in myself. And since the crazy COVID lockdown of 2020, I feel like it's been more important than ever to find ways to invest in yourself whenever possible. And a few things that really helped me do so was I read a book called It's Not Your Money. Mentioned it in several other podcasts this last couple weeks, and it was really powerful to acknowledge some of the different teachings in there. And I think that it might have been that book that I got this teaching from. But recently I've been trying to remember that as you invest in yourself, you are a wallet from the universe. You're giving others help by not only investing into yourself, but helping invest into them. And spirit always finds a way to give back. So it's really powerful to invest into opportunities and to invest into, teachings or courses that may inspire you, or events. Maybe you really like yoga and you want to go to more yoga events, and you've been putting it off because you're like, man, I can't I feel like I don't deserve that $10 admission fee or whatever, or going to live music and you're like, man, I can't, spare that $10-$20, admission fee, and you decide to talk yourself out of it, rather than seeing it as, wow, I can go and I can really, benefit from an experience. And I'm also helping that musician. I'm also helping that instructor. I'm helping that person or that business or that community on the other side of that offering. And I used to try to, talk myself out of going to places or things. And this counts for online. I know some people are like, well, I can't go anywhere right now. Even more so, it used to be hard for me to want to invest into something, virtual. And this last year, I tapped into that abundance mindset on a deeper level, and I've invested in all kinds of online courses. And every time I do, Spirit always finds a way to give back to me. And I always feel so good after I know that the person on the other side, has another person there to witness them in their greatness. So I've invested into like music immersions to learn more about music because I love music. And I've invested into art mentorships or communities so that I could be surrounded by people in a similar vibration to me, and also know, like one of my mentors, she has a daughter that has a special chromosome, for lack of better understanding, and she is always, creating and giving back to the world in a beautiful way and taking care of this earth angel child. And it's like, feels so good to know that I can invest into her program, into her community, and also, get that experience back. And I've made a lot of friends through it. And I'm always a little nervous when I invest into myself, but after I do it, I just want to like do a happy dance and just be so grateful that I even have the opportunity to in some way. And sometimes I don't feel like I have the opportunity, and I'll just set the intention like, okay, I really want to do this thing, Spirit. If it is meant for me to be a wallet from the universe to give to others so that I can not only, again, help myself, but help them, find a way to give me what I need. And I've had that happen several times where Spirit will give me exactly what I need to give back to them.
Absolutely. Me too. Me too. I've gone on some crazy adventures and threw myself out there for the universe to take care of, and it's always helped out. And one thing recently that I've done is invested into a business coach. It's something that I've never done personally and have always, wanted to. So I've been, paying a decent amount of money for a business coach. And at first I was really hesitant to, for many years, really hesitant to, because sometimes they're a lot of money and you just don't know. But I wanted to prove to myself that I was worthy of that I was able to do that it would be all right. And like many other things, when you put yourself out there and you have faith in the universe, it does always come back. So I've been working with them for 6 months maybe now. And, the universe has always found a way for me to pay for everything and that and more.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes when you sign up for something, you sign up with the best intention, and you think you may have a bigger investment, and then something happens and you may end up with, like a scholarship or an opportunity out of it that helps cover it, or you never know. And it's not even just about experiences either. Like, don't be afraid to invest into the supplies and the tools that maybe you need to follow a dream, or to, learn something new, a new skill about yourself, or anything like that. As an artist, I do that pretty frequently. And I used to wonder if I was, a little, investment happy with my art supplies, because most artists, we love our art supplies and we want all of the colors and all the brushes and all the canvases.
Gimme.
And anytime I do, like, I'll splurge just a little. I'll ask Spirit again, like, is this okay? And I'll like ask my heart, and I'll feel it in my heart, like, will this bring me true joy if I invest in myself? And sometimes it's like, no, Shannon, you're spending money to spend money. But other times, most of the time, it's like, yeah, this will actually, give you some sort of joy. And it doesn't have to be a thing. It can be an experience and a vacation. It doesn't have to be like just a course. Just invest in your joy and allow Spirit to give back to you. Go on the vacation, go on the trip, go take that class that you have been, so curious about. I've been, playing my drum for a while, and there is another Rav drummer that has a course, and I've been intrigued by it for like a year now. And I finally just, linked up with them and invested in, getting some different kinds of lessons. And it's not even that I necessarily feel like I need the lessons, but I want the community. And I also I really appreciate that he is offering something like that. It's not something that is really popular right now.
It's kind of like the spiritual economy in a way.
Yeah, that's where I was getting at.
We're
and
investing
it's like,
into all of our friends.
I'm investing because I want to see it thrive, and I want to see more of it. And also, again, Spirit was just like, this is a spiritual leader out there that deserves support. We're going to keep putting them in your radar so that you can help us by being a spiritual wallet. And as soon as I invested into the course, I ended up getting like a sale on my website for like the exact amount that I invested. And it was just like, thanks, Spirit. I followed your ping. And if you're like a small business owner, or you're an artist or a musician or something like that, and you feel like you're in that starving artist mentality, find ways to invest in yourself and have faith that you're worthy. Drop the idea that you're not worthy, or you haven't, sold enough paintings or made enough gigs or did enough of the things. And, you have to have faith in yourself so that Spirit can cheer you on. If you don't take the leap and make the investments, to get the gear or to get the better supplies, you're never going to level up.
Yeah. It's kind of scary sometimes, but you make that action, and it really shows you that you can do what you want to do. You can make that leap. You can, try and write that book. Like, as long as you have patience and consistency and, just a good outlook on everything, then I think that will be great. One thing that I am learning to invest into myself more is more balance with all the activities going on and needing to feel productive, and balancing that with, I can make money while I rest. I can make money while I have fun. I can make money while I am playing. I can make money while I'm sitting under a tree out in nature meditating.
I often make more money when I let go of the fear mentality and the lack mindset. Like, oh no, I got to post all these pendants. I got to, book all these sessions. I got to, find a muggle job. I got to do all these things. And when I let go of that, and I'm just like, screw this. I'm going to go dance. I'm just going to go dance for a minute. And then I'll pick up my phone and somebody has bought something. And I'm just like, what? That was crazy. I finally let loose for 3 minutes, and the universe was like, here's your reward. Thanks for finally being in flow, yo. Yeah.
So invest in the idea that you don't need to work your tail off just to get by. You don't even need to work extra hard to manifest that divine abundance. You can do that by finding a balance of, work. We obviously need to work, but we also need to rest. We need to find time to be silent, and we also need time to have fun. Life is meant to be fun. We're meant to enjoy it. We're meant to find bliss with those things. So, invest in the idea that you can do anything and still bring in money or bring in divine abundance.
Totally. It's you get better work done in things like that after you've relaxed and invested in yourself with your own energy for a minute. And there's so many times I'll be like, oh, I gotta hustle harder, I gotta get this painting done, or I gotta do all these things. And it's right then, when I'm in that hustle harder mentality, I ruin a painting, or I break a pendant, or I hurt myself in some weird way, or I feel an ache and a pain start building up in my body. But when I release and I play and I find time to just, honor myself, get that spiritual sensual bath or whatever, and, treat yourself, it always feels better. I mean, treating yourself, that's another one. Treat yourself to good food. I used to only buy cheap gross food, now that I look back at it, because that's what I grew up on was
gross food,
chicken nuggets, french fries, processed things I can throw in an air fryer or whatever.
Do you know why they're so cheap?
Because they're not real food. or like their food product, which means that they could be the leftovers of the good stuff. And the more I invest into food that makes me feel good, oh man, my world has changed. I mean, during the lockdown, I started investing in like a food box, and it was about the same, actually a little less than what I was spending weekly at a market. And it came with like recipes and things like that. And it had it has really nice fresh supplies, materials, like ingredients. I was like, what is the word? It has fresh ingredients, and it just like, it made me feel good and it made me feel abundant. I felt like I got to like, not only was I investing in good food, but I felt like I was investing into my ability to learn new recipes and like add new things to my inner cookbook. And it's been really nice and like fulfilling and abundant feeling to have those different meals each week, and to not have to think about what I'm going to eat, and to not worry about where I'm going to get, some sort of organic or just not chemically grown food. And, I was really scared to make that investment because I just had outsiders being like, oh, they're not worth it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but I'm spending more at the market getting food that's not the quality I want. I'm not able to find.
You're not wasting.
Yeah, I'm not wasting it. And the company I was using, I think it's green and organic, and they like support small farmers and things. So it's like you find unique ways to invest in yourself so that you feel better. But definitely, if you can invest into some good food, wow, what a life changer. I'm not even saying like go just organic or go vegetarian. I'm saying just find good quality food, guys. Whatever is good for your body. No judgment here, but treat yourself. Yeah. Don't just get the processed cheap stuff because you think that's what you deserve. You deserve good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. When you start investing into that good food, there will be opportunities that will be presented to you in order to make all that back. And you will also, I think, in my mind, I feel like you're saving money by getting the nutritious food, by getting the food that will make your body more healthy. Because in the long run, you're going to end up spending a lot more on visits to the hospital, to doctors, to whatever it might be, because of the type of food, the low vibration food. By eating that high vibration food, it literally raises your vibration. And when your vibration is raised, you feel more confident, you feel more open, you see those opportunities more. Like those opportunities are always there, but when you're in a high vibe, it's almost like you can see more of them. Like you tune in your instruments so that you can see those opportunities. And then when you're able to take action on them, then you start to, bring in that flow. So by investing in good food, you're investing into your vibration, and that vibration will attract a lot more abundance, a lot more divine abundance.
Yeah, I think it's important too to invest into the things that you really like too. Like if there's a brand or a style of product. What made me think of it is I listened to she's kind of a comedian, kind of like a speaker, but her name's Jessa Reed, and she talks often about how her mom, when she was in this like mentality of lack, her mom would insist on buying this cheap brand of potato chips rather than like the brand that she wanted. And Jessa would always be like, why do you do that, Mom? And she'd be like, because it's 30 cents cheaper. So if I'm going to buy 5 bags, like that's a lot of savings. And she's like, that's telling the universe that you are in a lack mentality. Like you're not even enjoying what you're putting into your body. Like get the brand that you want. And that goes for like all kinds of things. I had to kind of think about that the other day. You put me in, kind of that mindset because I really wanted a certain chair, and I was like, I only want to spend this much money on this like computer chair for my studio, and it's like I'm gonna be sitting in that all the time, guys, while I'm giving podcasts, while I'm doing sessions and other things.
We
and
sit in about the same time we probably spend in bed,
right? So it's like it ended up actually being CeeLo who invested in it for us, and I'm excited to try it because it's just like, we deserve to experience those things, like even like a certain computer. Like so often people be like, oh, I really want a Mac, but they're so expensive, but I could do so much more with my graphic design or my art or this, that, or the other. And it's like, but I can only afford a PC right now. And it's like, maybe you really can only afford a PC, but if you really wanted a Mac or an iPad or whatever it is, you could find a way, whether you do it temporarily on credit, you find a used one, you do something, you tell spirit, you find a way, and it will come into your reality. Vision boards are a powerful thing if you do them right.
Where there's a will, there's a way, is been a saying for a reason.
Yeah, I used to think vision boards were really cheesy because I was under the mentality that you had to use magazines and you had to cut out pictures that you could find and make collages, and I started using vision boards in a different way. I use Canva.
Yep.
I put exactly what I want on them. Me and Seal have learned the hard way. You put exactly what you want. You don't want chords on your keyboard. You get a keyboard that doesn't have chords on it, or you're going to manifest one with a chord on it, because we did that. But we made vision boards with pictures of, basically what we thought, exactly what we wanted. And anytime we do that, we get almost exactly what we want in return, and spirit finds a way. It might not happen overnight, but if you hold faith and you keep looking at that image and you're like, yeah, I still really feel like I deserve that.
It'll come. Just keep repeating it. It'll come. And I had that vision board for the computer for a long time, and I didn't lose faith. I didn't feel bad for looking at it and not having it. You want to look at it and be like, it's already here. I'm so excited when that moment arrives. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And, so I kept doing that, and eventually it came. And I think it's really important to write on your list somewhere, or to have it somewhere, or something all of this or something better, because I had some stuff on my list, but ended up getting a computer that was even better. I did have the keyboard and the mouse that were corded, but the graphics card and some of the things were even better than I had on my list.
Yeah, and I think that that's really powerful, to give it up to spirit. And it took both of us a year about to get all of the things on our last vision board, but I think it took until we released the idea that we didn't deserve a certain thing. For me, the last thing I got was a new microphone for my music studio, and I think it was because I didn't feel worthy enough of using my singing voice in that way to get it. But as soon as I was like, okay, I feel worthy now, it's allowed to come to me, I would actually use it. It won't just sit there. And then it found a way. The one I wanted had a little bit of a bundle sale, and I just felt confident in it, and then got it, and spirit gave back to me. And I feel really guided to make a statement here, because I feel like there's somebody that's probably out there listening wow, they're really entitled, or they must just really be abundant. But Seal and I both come from lifestyles where we've come from basically nothing.
Poverty.
Yeah, I came from a home where there were times we didn't have water. There were times our electric got shut off when I lived with my dad. My dad came from a home where him and his siblings would stay up at night, keeping bugs and rats and stuff off of them. So we don't come from royalty this life, maybe in a different life, but this life we've both kind of worked our way to having faith in the universe. At one
started
point,
from the bottom.
Yeah, at one point you basically
at one point I was homeless. I was sleeping on the street in San Francisco with the sleeping bag on the on the street with the homeless people, and and that was crazy.
You always talk about how on that trip that as what you needed came up, you would find a way, and spirit would always give back to you. And I think that is so powerful and beautiful, and people need to know that. We don't come from privilege. We've literally basically manifested, as cheesy as that sounds, our way to having faith that the universe loves us. You need to remember that the universe, God, spirit, whatever it is, it loves you, and it wants to support you. You just have to be willing to take steps and not live in fear.
Yeah. If anybody is out there and they were born into a nice situation financially, that's amazing. But I think those people also learn that they learn really quickly. It's not all about the money, and but I think we're all born in different situations, and it's all meant for something. But if you are somebody who is in a rougher situation financially, then you have a divine opportunity to create something from a grassroots level. You can create something that you can be really proud of. You have that opportunity to be I created all of this. And it's a good feeling when you are able to overcome adversity. You're able to overcome poverty. You're able to overcome any slights that you might have been dealt in this game of life. But we all have an opportunity to bring in and create a life that we dream about, that we deep down, we all know that we deserve it, because not because we worked hard, not even because we invested, but because we are alive, because we exist.
Yeah, it's important to know that you can change your future. Even if you don't feel abundant in the now, you can accept that you are meant to be abundant and that it's okay for you. Give yourself permission to receive. So often we are, programmed to feel like we don't deserve something. We can't receive love. We can't receive abundance. Who are we to, get money out of thin air or to have a miracle happen? I've seen people that needed money and the exact amount will appear from, a bank that they forgot that they opened, or, a random miracle, an act of kindness. Somebody will just send them something. Somebody from, like a great grandpa or somebody had an IRA account or something that they forgot about. And then you're now the beneficiary. Like, you never know. You never know until you just hold space to remember that you deserve it. And that means that you can also give back to your community too. Not only do you deserve it, but the people in your community deserve it. That person that you've been admiring and you've been wanting to invest into their course, their offering, their whatever, their fundraiser for, their kids or something that they're working through. It's okay for you to give back in those ways and hold faith that, again, you are a wallet for the universe and Spirit is working through you to help take care of them, especially if it's something, like somebody's doing some sort of course or offering and they are in a spiritual community. So often it's really hard for a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs to charge for their offerings because there's such a stigma about, charging for Reiki or charging for a card reading or whatever. If you really value that person and their advice or their energy or their offering, invest into them. Don't be afraid to invest into them or to second guess what they're charging, because, back in the day, the healers, the gurus, the shamans, the people that were there to help you, they were taken care of by their tribe. The community would feed them. They would be housed. They wouldn't have to worry about, trading product because they were trading their service, their energy, their spiritual connection. And that's different in this day and age. So instead, Spirit works through each and every one of us to make sure that those people can not only survive, but also thrive and continue to have the energy to give back to their community. And I've tried to give back to various communities in need too, because again, I've been a community member in need. And there were times that people, would find a way to donate to my dad to make sure that we had water and things like that. So now that I've started to, I won't say I've completely hacked the abundance mindset, but I've started to hack it. And one of the things that I've done to hack it is to make sure I give back to people and other communities whenever I can. Make a small donation. It can go a long way. And again, I'll donate to somebody who maybe needs food or, has had a hard time catching their rent. And I don't always have excess, but when I do even have $10, $20 and you can make that little change in someone's world, it can shift your whole reality. It can shift their whole reality. And it shows Spirit that you're willing to show up and be a conduit for abundance. So it's a powerful move. And we actually talk about so many other ways that you can hack the abundance mindset. And I believe the most recent previous or the one before that, where we talk about rituals for abundance.
Yeah, rituals for abundance. That was a good one. Yeah. So what about, ways we can invest into our future? Because, investing into the present moment is really nice and pretty amazing. But we have this divine gift where we can see beyond the present moment. And so what are some, for you, some helpful, beneficial ways of, investing beyond this present moment?
Beyond this present moment. I think I do that by investing into courses and, like I said, materials earlier, because, I might not need it in that moment, but if Spirit is telling me I need it for my future, I'll usually, invest into that experience or that thing, and it finds its place.
So you get pings. I
feel it in my heart. It's not even just a want. It's a this, there's a reason for this. Mm-hmm. Last year I was really into music, but I didn't feel like I was going to really do much or anything with it, and I was really hesitant to invest into there was an event called the Shakti Sound Online Immersion or something like that, One Sound Immersion, and there's getting ready to be another one, and this year I'm really excited, and I was super excited to invest in it, but last year I was a little hesitant, and I was like, what if I never do anything with music? What if, that doesn't serve me? But Spirit was like, you love music, and that you have plenty of time in your future. If nothing else, you might sing to future generations in your family or something. Like, just invest into your future. It's okay if you don't feel like you're a musician now. You might eventually. So I invest into courses. I invest into, again, food is a future investment. Investing in the food in the now helps your body in the future.
Definitely.
Like, I wish I wouldn't have eaten so many chicken nuggets as a kid. Like, man.
It is. So it almost seems like investing itself is like with the future in mind. Like when you're investing, it's almost like you automatically have that in mind.
Yeah. When I do, I'm like, oh, I see canvases on sale. I don't actually need them right now, but if they're out there and Spirit's put them on sale for me now and I have the money now, I might not have the money in like 6 months. So I'll just invest in this now so that when, maybe I'm having a dark day or maybe I just feel really creative and I feel really low, I can then use that canvas to make more abundance. So I don't know. I have a unique perspective on that.
Another future like investment, we haven't talked about this yet, but it's like getting movement in, like physical movement. Working out, I think, is something a lot of people have a hard time sticking with because they want that that investment to pay off like right away. And I would say working out is definitely you're doing it for the future in a way, because it's not until you develop a consistent routine with working out that you begin to notice the changes, but it does take a while. So that's like an investment into yourself that you have to take into account. It's going to work. It's going to pay off over time.
That made me think of something too. Actually, my new RAV mentor that I mentioned earlier, he actually made a post recently about how, practicing any sort of what some might consider a talent, like music or art or, even running or doing yoga or something, investing that time into the practice so that, if you're going to perform or, do something else, like that investment into the practice is really powerful, and you don't get that instant gratification, but it like leads up into like a bigger moment. So maybe not so much with like stretching, but maybe so like the amount of energy and investment you put into stretching and learning the basic skills of anything like dancing or, like gymnastics or anything like that practice, it's investing into a future opportunity for you to shine in a bigger, brighter way.
Yeah. I like, stretching it's a little bit, shorter in time than it takes to work out. Like you can stretch. When I stretch, I feel good for the rest of the day, but it takes like just a few minutes for me to start feeling the benefits from stretching. But it also helps like if I would go for a run or if I did do a workout, that stretching would pay off through that workout. It would pay off through that run. And I love to stretch every morning. It definitely is my most consistent way to invest in myself. So if I had to give anybody one specific piece of advice about investing in yourself, I kind of lost my train of thought.
Invest into your body, invest into your health, invest into...
Well, I was going to say, like, the best thing is to find a little something that you can do each day. That's like really simple, that even if you're having a tough day, like it will be attainable for you to do this thing. So for me, that's like doing my stretches, because even if I'm having a really bad day, if I just take a few minutes to do my stretches, it like feels a lot better. So, find something attainable that you can do daily that will help you to just, feel better, something that you can invest into yourself to feel better.
Yeah. That kind of made me think of how it's like, sometimes it's important to invest into like minor maintenance of something rather than waiting until there's a big issue. like investing in stretching is giving your body the tolerance to move and to build up muscle and things versus waiting until, until
I start pulling muscles.
Yeah, a health situation. It's kind of like a car. Like if you can maintain it, you can get like bi-monthly checkups or something on your car, and it's better than waiting till your muffler falls off or something to have to replace it. Like,
well, daily check-ins are great. Dang it. Yeah, I lost
Did I make you lose it again?
It's okay. At least I figured out what I was going to say before. That was really important, is, finding that thing. Okay, so, stretching is great because it's got short-term and long-term benefits for it. I've been stretching every day for a few years, but imagine that goes beyond a few years and goes to 30 years when I'm like 60 years old. Like if I do my stretches every day until I'm 60 years old, you bet your ass I'm going to be walking around a lot better than if I had to wait until I started like feeling a lot more stiff and my bones were getting stiff and like it was hard for me to move. And then it's like, okay, dude, you got to stretch or else you're going to just freeze up. Like I'm going to be in a lot better place stretching every day.
Silo's a stretchy man. Very stretchy.
It's important. Stretch those muscles.
No, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I'm glad you remembered. Those that are listening, we do these live, so you get to hear our fumbling words. And if you'd like to join us live and be a part of our chat room, you can join us on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard at bringmetolife.com with the number 2 and join our chat room.
Yeah. Bringmetolife.com/podcast is where we have our chat. Yeah, it'll take you right there, right to that page.
Also, if you were curious about investing into the Patreon that we offer, you can check that out at bringmetolife.com too. There's a big button there. It's probably the easiest way for me to tell you to get there if you want it.
Most pages, we have it at the very top where it says join our Patreon. And we have a bunch of tiers. The $22 tier is probably the best tier to go because you'll be able to join us and do things with us and participate in all the things.
Yep, we got monthly sound events where, like this last one, I did card readings with it. We do a little community workshop, and the more we have the motivation and inspiration and community, continue to grow, the more events we'll be able to offer, and it'll be more fun for everyone. So if you're looking for some high vibe humans that are, here to wake up and shine on, Patreon might be a good place for you to join us. We're also working on getting our Discord rolling, which will be kind of like a community hotspot for that. Especially the Patreon members. It'll be where we can give you updates quicker than general social media because I'm sick of investing into social media. That's one thing I'm sick of investing into is social media. I feel like I spend so much of my life investing into content for social media that it's time for us to rise and shine in other platforms.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Let's be mindful of where our time is going.
I just find myself spending so much time scrolling, guys. Who else is sick of scrolling? I'm sick of scrolling. I'm trying to set a boundary to not invest into the algorithms other than, like positive art posts. You can look at my art, guys. Go look at some art. Look at our podcast. That's fine. But otherwise, get off your phone and be in the moment.
I'm trying to figure out. We're all there, though. I feel we're all there. And we're all doing a good job. Let's keep it going. Let's keep doing a good job, and let's keep raising each other up, and keep sending each other just understanding even more than love, understanding, so that we can just keep growing and trying to better humanity together.
Yeah. Next podcast, I think we're going to be trying to talk about what abundance means to you. So if you are listening to this, we would love if you could reach out to us anyway, whether it's hopping into our chat room on, the Bring Me to Life /podcast page. Even after this, it doesn't have to be live. We still see that chat room. Throw it there. You can
if
go
you're on Apple, then rate us and comment on us, and that'll help us.
Join us in the Bring Me to Life community on Facebook, but we want to hear from you. We want to read these off next time if we have any, and we can remember to do it. So help us remember by submitting them and telling us, what does abundance mean to you? And if you have any unique tricks to hacking abundance that you want to share with the community, let us know those too. We would love to hear from you. We want to create a dialogue here and hold space for the community to grow. So hit us up.
Hit us up. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us on the Bring Me to Life podcast. Appreciate you all. Check out bringmetolife.com for so much more.
Totally. Now, as we end, real quick, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to set an intention. You're going to call in something amazing this week. You're going to find a way to invest in yourself, or you're just going to receive a miracle. Collective intention set. All right. Go check out bringme2life.com.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Stay awake.
And shine on always. For many of us, spirituality is just the quest to find essence or true meaning and to really just connect with a higher consciousness.
Connecting with your spirituality is very important in this life. By becoming mindful of all of it, you can realize where you are and if that is leading you to where you want to go.
Listen to the little simple things, because it's those little simple things that are going to shift you vibrationally in such a way that will prepare you to become very intuitively minded and ready to step forward on the next part of your path.
I hope you can feel the love that's inside you, it's inside me, that connects us.
Thanks for shining on with us.